Hello, good morning. This is Garrett, and I'm going to talk for 5 minutes about what superpower I would have if I were a superhero. This topic comes from Daniel Chazet, music teacher at Savage Public Schools in Savage, Montana, and he goes to our church and he responded to my call for help. I needed help coming up with more topics for these 5 minutes. I could probably come up with topics. I'm sure I could, but I think it's more fun. I enjoy it. I'm glad Daniel came up with several really interesting ones. Tabitha Bowline, Sherilyn Dreyer. Between the three of you guys, I've got quite a few of these topics to go through. So thank you. I think it makes it more engaging. It feels a little bit more like a conversation. And I know at least one person is going to find this video interesting because they requested the topic, right? So at least one person will watch it. But anyway, this is the part where I set the timer for 5 minutes on my work phone, and this whole exercise is going to help me to become more disciplined in my communication, to get to the point quicker, be a little less self-indulgent, going on and on and on and on. So the question is, if I were a superhero, what would my superpower be? And I thought about this quite a bit yesterday and on into this morning. I mean, not consistently. I thought about other stuff too, and it just was every now and then. But I don't think flying would be my superpower. I'm not a big fan of heights, although maybe heights wouldn't bother me so much if I could fly. Super strength is cool and all. That seems like a common one. But I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me the same way that maybe some kind of a mind power. Being able to read other people's minds. There could be some pretty distinct advantages to that. It would be a mixed blessing, though. I mean, unless you could turn it off and just choose not to, but then it would always be there, tempting you. If somebody gave you kind of a weird look or they said something you weren't sure how to take, you'd be, just I could, and it probably is for the best. Oftentimes, if we don't know exactly for sure what other people are thinking, if we have to take their word for it, if they say, "Oh, it was nothing," no, nothing, they just smile politely. But that superpower, that would be fantastic. Sometimes with my wife, Lauren, honey, if you're watching this, I love you. Sometimes you are difficult to read. Don't know if you have been told that yet, but that the ability to read minds, that'd be a pretty handy superpower. I think also the ability to teleport instantly across distance and just show up in a blink of an eye and go and be able to take people with you. I think that would be a necessary component as well, because I was thinking about the advantage of being able to teleport would be you wouldn't have to own a car or a truck necessarily, because obviously you get from point A to point B, you just blink or whatever. And then I thought, well, no, how do you get your family from point A to point B if you've got the superpower and they don't? So I think it would be important. You'd have to, if you could hold hands or whatever, and then they would go with you, then that would be okay. I think that'd be cool. And imagine, the possibilities. You've got 15 minutes extra left of your lunch break at work, and you say, "Hey, I was just admiring some pictures of a beach in Australia, and I think I'll go stroll that beach for 15 minutes. I'm just, I have that much time. I don't have a week's vacation right now, but I've got 15 minutes. Blink, and then you're there. That'd be a pretty cool one. Not just for, just self-indulgence like that and convenience. You know, if somebody was having an emergency and you needed to come and help them out, you could just blink and you're there with them, and you can, you know, if you forget something that they needed, you could just blink and you go where the stuff is that you need to get for them, and then you come back to them or what have you. So that would be, I think, that'd be a pretty cool superpower. One of those two, the ability to read minds, or the ability to teleport. And if I could have both, boy, howdy! I mean, the possibilities. I think there's a lot of fun I could have with that. Invisibility too. I mean, that's another one that you know, it's almost like reading minds, where if you could just be invisible and you know, and listen in on what people are doing or observe, or you could, you know, be a super spy, or you could what have you, you know, sneak into, you know, if you had a hostage situation, you could sneak in and rescue the hostages, and you know, that'd be kind of a cool superpower. But it wouldn't be the top of my list. I think the first two I mentioned, those are the first two that come to mind. And Daniel had been mentioning, he talked about a book he was reading. It was this kind of offbeat comic book that has as its main character a girl whose superpower is to control bugs. And I don't think that would be mine. So anyway, that is my 5-minute video that I'm currently taking right now. Daniel, 5-minute video about superpowers and which one I would choose if I were a superhero. I'd be interested to hear your guys' answers. I mean, what you know, if you could only pick one superpower to have, what would it be if you were a superhero, and why? Please leave your answers in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up button on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it is that you're watching this. And yeah, thanks for watching.